Yo, what's going on, guys? You got Ace here, and today we have my week 2 battle against Gypsy King of the Sydney Sharpedos, and I guess I'll start off by reading off the matchup. I got the usual team: Mega Gallade, Thunderous Eye, Togekiss, Buckalola, Latios, Empoleon, Darmanitan, Mismagius, Seismitoad, Stunfisk, Lickitung, and Sceptile. And he has quite obviously the best draft in the league, which is pretty characteristic of him, except in Season 6, with AEGISLASH, Garchomp, Clefable, Suicune, Excelgor, Nihilego, Mandibuzz, Quagsire, Vileplume, Hypno, Avalugg, and Mega Medicham. So the first thing to notice about Gypsy's draft is that it's pretty much the fattest draft in the league. It has so many ways to stall out the opponent, which fits directly into Gypsy's playstyle. And he has so many mons which can just switch into any possible hit I could dish out, and so many support mons that can help heal off the damage, heal off status, and defog hazards. So for example, he doesn't have a lot of offense on his team. His offense is basically limited to AEGISLASH, Garchomp, and Mega Medicham, and I guess Nihilego, but it's not a super strong mon generally. I guess if he wants to bring a Life Orb Clefable, that's fine too, but that's definitely not the Clefable set that's coming this game. So, looking at what's good against my team, I know AEGISLASH is coming 100%. It's just such a good, not even a soft check, just a hard check to mons like Mega Gallade, Thunderous Eye. Pretty much every single mon on my draft is checked by AEGISLASH, which sucks. Like, everything except, I guess, if I Skull Burn it with Empoleon, or do like 40 with Seismitoad. It sucks, dude. It basically gets free SDs on anything. That's why I think he will be an SD set this game, because all he needs to sweep me is SD, Iron Head, Shadow Sneak, and King Shield. Like, even against Alolan Muck or Darmanitan, like, the only coverage I get for AEGISLASH on either of those mons are contact moves, so he's able to take any of those hits at -2 anyway, which sucks. So I don't really I have to go for gimmicks in order to check AEGISLASH, so that's definitely a mon that will come. Definitely SD AEGISLASH in my opinion. Even before the match, I'm just gonna say that's the set he actually ended up bringing. But even before the match, I knew that it's the only set I should be prepping for, because it's by far the best set against me in my opinion, just because it's able to set up and win the game, while most of my mons are relatively healthy, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. Next up is Garchomp. Luckily for him, Garchomp has a really solid matchup against me as well. I do have Togekiss, which is immune to both its stabs, but Garchomp with Z-moves has the ability to obliterate that thing with whatever move it wants to go for. I do have Seismitoad, which sort of takes it from it, but Ice Punch isn't doing a lot back, and I take rough skin damage to boot. So that's going to be a little bit annoying, Garchomp there, so be a bit careful. He can sort of just spam Dragon Claw against my team without that many drawbacks, because Dragon Claw covers the Lottie and Thunderous plays, while dealing a lot to my other threats as well. The only mons that it doesn't cover are Togekiss and Empoleon. He can just outspeed and either kill Togekiss with the Z move, or kill Empoleon with Earthquake. And I do think he'll be Z Stone Edge, because my only, like, the only possible switching on my draft to Garchomp is Togekiss, and I think he'll be probably either Z Stone Edge or maybe Z Tectonic or Z Earthquake. Possibly Z Earthquake to take out Seismitoad, because that's my best SD AEGISLASH check. So I have to be careful about both of those and see what he wants to go for. Then he has Clefable. I'm not sure about Clefable this matchup, mostly because I have Alolan Muck and he knows it's coming, because it's able to check mons like Clefable and AEGISLASH. And he doesn't really have the best Poison Jab switch-ins. Like, as you can see right here, I'm a Poison Touch set that's adamant, and he doesn't have any mons that like to get poisoned really. So it's gonna be really nice getting off Poison Jabs, and Clefable lets me do that for free, so if he brings that, it won't be too much of a big deal. The set that I'm more scared of a little is probably The set that I think he's going to bring is Unaware. And the reason I think he's going to do that is I don't think Seismitoad has a great match. I think he'll bring one Unaware Mon in my opinion, because Glade outspeeds his entire team, except I guess like a Scarf Nihilego. And Scarf Nihilego does like nothing to Glade with any of its moves, and I heal off all the damage with Drain Punch. So he's going to be scared of an SD Glade, and he's going to bring an Unaware Mon for that. And I think that Unaware Mon will be Clefable, because Glade gets Leaf Blade for Quagsire. So I'm thinking probably Unaware Clefable, but Magic Guard has its merits too. I saw a lot of Magic Guard in mocks, so we'll see the one he chooses to bring, if he chooses to bring Clefable at all. So after that, Suicune's sort of like, if he wants more fat stuff, he can bring it. If he doesn't have to. Like, Scald's fine against my team. It's not great because I have mons like Togekiss and Latias. And, like, Togekiss is a pretty big check to Suicune, like most Togekiss sets. I do, like, sort of run out of Air Slashes if he's able to rest up on me, but there's a lot of stuff Togekiss can do that can just shut Suicune down. That's the same with a decent amount of my mons, like Thundurus, and even Glade can set up on some Suicune sets if he doesn't Scald Burn me. Or if I bring the right Glade set. And Excelgor, I don't think Excelgor is going to come because I have a lot of Defoggers, and offensively it's ass against Togekiss and Alolan Nihilego, I think definitely will come. And the reason I think it definitely will come is that Scarf Nihilego is probably, it's like his best Thundurus check, and he needs a Thundurus check. So Scarf Nihilego is fine late game too, because it gets special attack Beast boosts. So it can sort of like go for power gems late game and sort of sweep through my team if it's weakened. Also does like okay damage to Glade with Dazzling Gleam if I'm trying to set up bulk ups or something. Mandibuzz, I thought Mandibuzz was coming 100%. It just does really well against my team because Mega Glade, it's so weak to Foul Play. It's crazy. Like, Foul Play does, I think it almost kills Glade from full, which is ridiculous. And it's able to defog hazards, so that if I go for hazards against his team, he won't have to deal with it because he has a more stall team. He's going to be switching around a lot, so rocks are going to be good against him by default. So he's going to want it for defog. He's also going to want it so Latias can't spam Psychic against his team. He's going to want it so he has a switch into Muck, because his Muck switch-ins, as I said before, aren't the best. Mandibuzz is fine, like especially if I'm a Gluttony set, but as you can see, I am a Poison Touch set. So yeah, and then there's also stuff like Mandibuzz is a really good check to Seismitoad. It's a good check to Mismagus. It's a good check to a lot of the mons in my draft, so I don't know. Like, it gives him a lot of opportunities to just U-turn into Mega Medicham and stuff like that. And it's a pretty, I think it's more, I think it's better defensively against my draft than Suicune is. Quagsire, I thought was sort of a 50-50. I mean, it was brought against me a time or two in mocks, and like it can switch into hits if I'm bringing weaker sets on some mons. Like, he might bring it as a resist for Darm since Suicune isn't that great against me. So, who knows? It's another Unaware mon, so if he's not expecting Leaf Blade on Glade, then he can bring in Quagsire. But Quagsire still takes a lot from CC, so it's going to be a little bit tough there. So yeah, Quagsire could come, it could not come. I don't really know. It's another possible bring, but it's also another mon that loses to Togekiss and just like my stall breakers. So it's really his choice whether the amount of mons he wants to bring to stall me out versus the amount of offensive mons. Like, I think he's gonna bring Garchomp, Mega Medicham, and Nihilego, and then probably 3 stall mons like AEGISLASH. Well, I think Garchomp, Nihilego, Mega Medicham, AEGISLASH, coming for sure, and in the last 2 months I just really didn't know. I didn't think he was going to bring both Quagsire and Clefable. I felt like he was just going to choose one, because he's not. If he has Quagsire for Unaware, then Magikarp, Clefable I didn't think would do that much against me, since Muck would be able to take advantage of it and wall break his team. So moving along in his draft, he has kind of 3 shitters and then Mega Medicham. So Mega Medicham is really good against me. I don't really have a good fighting resist. Like, my bulky psychic is Mega Latios. Not Mega Latios, that would be good. Bulky psychic is regular Latios, and that dies to Ice Punch. So Ice Punch is really spammable against my team. So it's probably what he's going to go for if he has it in, and I don't really have a response to that. So I have to prep some gimmicks against that as well. So going over my Muck set against this team, that's why I have Protect Shadow Sneak. Just like, if Medicham's like a little bit chipped, I can just like Protect on its HJK and then Shadow Sneak. But I don't know. I'm not sure that I'll do that. I could probably like predict an Ice Punch, like based on what I think he's gonna go for. But I mean, not really much Muck can do. I can just Shadow Sneak, maybe hope to get a Poison, and then Poison Jab, just because I want poisons on Mandibuzz and stuff. And just he doesn't have a great poison resist. And then Knock Off for his poison resist is really great. Knock Off for mons like Nihilego. And knocking off Clefable is really nice. Knocking off AEGISLASH is nice, though it does lower my attack if he King Shields it. Not much I can do about that. I could have like tried to creep AEGISLASH, but I know he's gonna run a decent amount of speed just to try to aggressively creep my Muck, because it's really important that he outspeeds Muck so I don't get to knock off his leftovers, so he's not put in range of certain things on my team, like a Fire Blast from Togekiss or a Z Thunderbolt from Thundurus or something. So next I got this Togekiss. It's like pretty much max defense. This allows me to not get 2KO'd by Garchomp's Stone Edge, and I will have to scout for his Z Stone Edge by switching it to Seismitoad, but I really have to keep Seismitoad healthy as well, so it's kind of, my defensive core is pretty vulnerable this game, that's for sure. So it's going to be really tough playing out this game, because my defensive mons really don't have that great of a matchup. Like, Empoleon has a terrible matchup against him in my opinion, just like Mega Medicham, Garchomp. Just destroy it. So it's going to be really tough having a defensive backbone this game for his mons. And Togekiss had extreme 4th move slot syndrome this week too. Like, I want Air Slash for stab and for flinching for all of his walls, because half his team is slower than me and Air Slash flinches them. And then I need Fire Blast for AEGISLASH so it doesn't like just kill me. And then I want Thunder Wave to slow down so Nihilego isn't a free switch in. And then I want Encore to Encore AEGISLASH into King's Shield, because Fire Blast doesn't do enough to it in Shield form. And then I want Roost for Recovery. I really wanted to run Wish Protect as well, so I could Wish into Seismitoad for a much safer play against Garchomp. But I didn't have room for it. So Togekiss sort of, because it has to do everything, it kind of has to do less of everything, if that makes any sense. Like, I tried to pick the most versatile set, but in the process it ends up like being less effective as a whole, so that kind of sucks. Maybe I should have gone for a more focused set, like a Wish Pass set with just Air Slash and Thunder Wave. Just forego the Encore and just try to pass a Wish against AEGISLASH to Seismitoad. Maybe that should have been my set, I don't know. But basically with this set, I can sort of bluff Fire Blast against an AEGISLASH in Blade form, bait him into going for King's Shield, and then Encore him to King's Shield, and basically try to beat him that way. It's sort of an anemic way to beat an AEGISLASH, but it's what I have to go for. Thunder Wave to slow down his threats to make them slower than my Air Slash. Speed so Aegislash doesn't outspeed me, and so Suicune doesn't outspeed me, and a bunch of other mons. So also just that so that I'm faster than I think most Excelgors after I Thunder Wave it. This Thundurus, it has Nasty Plot. Like he's gonna have Scarf Nihilego, but if I'm able to catch it with the lore that I'll explain later, then Nasty Plot Thundurus puts in a ton of work, barring his unaware mons. But I do have Electrium Z for the Clefable. Quagsire is a bit more of an issue, but it's sort of dealt with by the majority of my team. Like Latios can break it, and then Seismitoad can Toxic it, Sceptile can Subseed it, Togekiss can flinch it, stuff like that. So once I get rid of Nihilego, the set can put in a lot of work. I didn't really need a fourth move here, that's why I put Nasty Plot. Like Grass Knot for Quagsire would have been nice, but it doesn't do a lot. I think it's only base 60 against Quagsire. It's just not doing enough. So I figured that Nasty Plot would be better there, just to facilitate a late game sweep. So that's Thundurus. Yeah, and the reason I'm not Z Psychic also is so I can break Aegislash. So Latios is a choice specs variant. I actually watched Gypsy's video before recording this, and he wanted to know why I brought Specs Latios against a team with Aegislash. Basically, there's very little Latios can do against an Aegislash that even goes hard into Latios. Like, any Latios 1v1 against an Aegislash is going to be losing, in my opinion. Like, I looked through its moves. There really isn't much I can do. Like, I can Shadow Ball and do, like, a nice... I can calc right now, like, how much it does. Let's see. Let me find a good calc. Like, a decent, like, offensive, non-boosting item Latios versus a max HP Aegislash. Or even with a little bit of Spadef, because that's what he ended up bringing. Yeah, I'm doing... Oh, that's to Blade. I'm not even Oko and Blade for him. Hold on. Aegislash Shield. I'm doing a nice 30 to it, and he's gonna have like King Shield and leftovers, and I'll be doing pretty much nothing. So it's better to just, if I'm gonna be going for a Psychic against his team or a Shadow Ball, it's better for it to be the most powerful Psychic or Shadow Ball possible. And then I just switch out. And it's also really important. Like one of the best ways to neutralize Aegislash in this matchup is just to trick it a Specs. So that's my sort of strat against Aegislash with this mon. Like there's nothing I can, there's pretty much nothing I can do to Aegislash with this mon to keep it from setting up. So I just brought the most powerful set to just chip it as much as possible to put it in range of Thundurus or Seismitoad. And then maybe I can trick it at some point if it's sweeping me and I somehow level +2 Shadow Sneak. Or he doesn't go for it, he goes for like King Shield. Next I have Seismitoad. This mon's pretty much vital to deal with SD Aegislash. EQ, knockoff. I have knockoff over Ice Punch. Mostly because someone brought Magic Guard, not even Calm Mind Clefable, just a really aids a Magic Guard Clefable set against me in a mock. It was actually Jake. And it was really important to knock off its leftovers. So that's why this thing is knockoff. And then Rock's Toxic, pretty self-explanatory. Last one is Sceptile. This actually, it outspeeds his whole team except Nihilego. And I'm able to subseed a lot of his mons down. Basically, I brought this mon because it had the best matchup against Aegislash of the remaining mons on my team. Like, Darm has a pretty terrible matchup against Aegislash. Like, he gets to scout the move I go for with King's Shield with no drawback, unless I'm like the garbage Belly Drum set. Like, I had this like weird sub-encore Darm on this team, but didn't end up bringing it because it wasn't powerful enough against his fire resist. And then Empoleon, like, he just sets up on Empoleon with very little drawback. Miss Magus just dies to sneak. Stunfisk is really passive against AEGISLASH as well. Lickitung is ridiculously passive. And then the rest of the mons I brought, so. And I guess Mega Gallade, but Mega Gallade can't do anything to AEGISLASH either, and like dies to sneak. This is the best matchup against AEGISLASH of the remaining mons in my roster. Like once AEGISLASH gets to +2, I will more often than not lose, so I have to think of all the gimmicks in the book to make it not as effective at +2, because it gets to +2 against pretty much every mon because it's ridiculously bulky. So this is one of the gimmicks in my book to make it not be as effective at +2. Just always be behind a sub and whittle it down with Leech Seed. This is the lore for Nihilego I was talking about earlier. Earthquake Oko's like pretty much every Nihilego unless he's Fizz Def, and there's absolutely no reason for him to be Fizz Def this game. Like if I kill something and I'm behind a sub, I can just go for EQ against his Nihilego if that's what he chooses to revenge me with. I hope not to reveal EQ against him early, so that if he tries to revenge me with Nihilego behind a sub, I can EQ that thing. But yeah, this mon isn't that great against his team, but I needed something that didn't lose to AEGISLASH, and this was the something, so that's what I gotta do. It has a little bit of merit just being faster than a lot of his mons and just wearing down his walls. Like Leech Seeding Suicune is really important. Leech Seeding Mandibuzz or Toxicking Mandibuzz is really important. Stuff like that is pretty good against him. So yeah, that's the team. I'll hop into the replay now. So as you can see, he ended up bringing both the Clefable and the Quagsire, which I wasn't really expecting. Muck is going to be really important in this game. Going for Poison Jabs against his team is going to be really nice. Like obviously he has like Garchomp to resist, but poisoning that thing is going to be good. And I have like decent switches to Garchomp. And yeah, so I'm just going to lead with the Togekiss because it has the best 1v1 matchup against most of his mons. And I didn't feel like he would lead AEGISLASH because he wants to save it for a sweep later. So he leads Garchomp. I have to scout for Z Stone Edge because that's what I think his set will be. So I just go into Seismitoad as he just ends up going for the regular Stone Edge. That doesn't reveal to me that he's not Z because I've seen how Gypsy plays with the Z moves in the past. He likes to conserve them until the very late game, not reveal them early. So him going for regular Stone Edge doesn't tell me anything because most Togekisses can't kill Garchomp in one hit, especially since Gypsy brings pretty bulky Garchomps normally. So even if I was like a Scarf offensive Dazzling Gleam there, he wouldn't have died and would have gotten off a ton of Stone Edge damage. So Stone Edge was a good play by him, and I still don't know what his item is, so that's gonna suck. So Seismitoad is in. We're just both gonna trade rocks here. So by now I know he's not an SD Chomp because he's gonna want both EQ and Dragon Claw against my team. So that's good information that he's 3 attacks rocks. So he goes out into Clefable as I just go for a Toxic. Just trying to wear the Garchomp down. So here he obviously reveals Magic Guard. So that's a cue for me to go straight into Muck. I need to start getting off my Poison Jabs, as he actually reveals the knockoff, and that's huge because Muck's Black Sludge recovery is crucial this game. Like, the amount that sucks is ridiculous because I am no longer a check to Nihilego. I'm a liability against Nihilego because he gets a Peace Boost against me. I am no longer a check to AEGISLASH because I will always be in range of +2 Iron Head because I have no way to recover now. And like I only get 1 or 2 more Poison Jabs against his team, so I have to get lucky with them. So that's really, really good prep on Gypsy's part. Knocking off my Black Sludge is huge. So he sees my Black Sludge. He probably knows I'm Poison Touch at this point, and probably offensive at that. So I just go for my knockoff because Like, Poison Jab was pretty obvious there, and like knockoff still has a chance to poison, and knocking off Clefable's item is fine because he's not doing a lot to me with any of his moves. So I go for knockoff. He has a Rocky Helmet, which sucks even more, but luckily I do get the Poison Touch. This Quag just gets to recover here. The poison does suck for him, but Muck not having an item and taking Rocky Helmet damage and Rocks damage is going to be under half when it comes in, so Aegislash doesn't even need to go for an SD to kill with an Iron Head, so Muck isn't even close to a counter to Aegislash anymore, so I have to keep this Seismitoad healthy at this point, but it's going to be hard when Garchomp is still a huge threat. So I bring in Sceptile. He's not going for Toxic against Muck, he's going to go for Recover. So I can just sub here. I'm not expecting this Quagsire to carry a move that can break my sub. And he might go Nihilego and I can just kill it with DQ. So I go for my sub, as he actually predicts me and stays in, which is props to him for that play. That really threw me off. Very ballsy play, and makes me lose a little bit of health with my Sceptile, which really doesn't matter, but it gives him information on my set, which is a lot more important. So I just go for my Seeds. He's not going to Toxic now that he's seen sub, and I can easily take Ice Punch because I'm a bulky Sceptile. And here's going to switch out to his Clefable, and there's nothing I can do about that. I can like double the Muck, I guess, but if I get that prediction wrong, I'm in such a bad spot. And I'm thinking maybe he just sacks this Quagsire for information on Sceptile's set. Maybe that could be a play he makes because it's poisoned. It has to come in on rocks again, and it has no leftovers recovery. Like, if he switches it into a hit, it'll be effectively at 34% before it's taking that hit, so the hit has to be doing less than 17, which is, I mean, no hits on my team are doing less than 17. Like Thundurus can 2 a KO with Psychic, so it's a pretty useless mon at this point, but he actually does choose to preserve it as a sack and goes Clefable, so unfortunately I don't get to, I maybe could have gone for sub there, but unfortunately I don't get the prediction right by doubling it to Muck. I thought he would just sack the Quag for information on my set because he's seen Subseed, but he doesn't Subseed EQ. Wait, he hasn't seen EQ yet, so he's seen Subseed. He's not really sure what my last moves are. So going Clefable is a good play there, but I mispredicted and I end up paying for that because now he has all the momentum. He can just go for, if he has a status move, he can go for it here. It'll be pretty crippling. So I go into Togekiss just so I can start flinching this thing. If he starts deciding to set up Calm Minds, I can Encore him into that. He just goes for Moonblast, which is fine. I try to predict his Nihilego coming in here because I need to start making plays like that to come back into this game. And like that's the only way I come back into this game, because at team preview I'm at a disadvantage because first of all, he didn't bring the mons I thought he would bring. I thought he would bring Mandibuzz 100%, so I was wrong there. And like just in general, his team's a lot better than mine, so I'm at a disadvantage that way too. I mean, he has an Aegislash and I don't. I didn't even bring my Mega. So he goes Garchomp on my Thunder Wave, which is pretty godly play. I mean, he's in my head at this point, so I still have to, like, at this point I can't even respect the Z Edge. I just need to get a roost on this Togekiss, because if I switch out, this Togekiss is basically dead anyway, so I might as well just roost here. He goes for Stone Edge and misses, which is unfortunate for him. It wouldn't have killed me, but he doesn't get to get information on my Togekiss set. At this point, I'm pretty sure he's not Z Edge, but I don't know. I think I make a bit of a misplay here. I end up switching out to Seismitoad. I think that's a misplay because I'm not 2 KO'd by Stone Edge, and I know that. I have Calcs open. So And the fact that he went for Stone Edge there rather than Z Edge, because not going for Z Edge risks me going for like Dazzling Gleam, getting a crit or something, or something like that. Like, if he had Z Edge there, he would have gone for it because he doesn't need it versus the remainder of my team. Like, Dragon Claw kills Lottie, and then EQ for Muck and Seismitoad, and then Dragon Claw for the other two mons. Because Thundy is close to in Dragon Claw range after rocks. It's like basically... Hold on. Thundy is like basically dead to Dragon Claw after rocks. So, if he had Z Edge there, he would have gone for it. So, I should have taken the hint and thought, wow, he didn't go for Z Edge there, so he doesn't have it. But instead, I make the misplay of going out into Seismitoad, and this sucks. This play is pivotal in the game. I'm pretty sure that this play is definitely one of the biggest misplays I've made in a while in League, because I need this Seismitoad for Aegislash, and I know I need it for Aegislash, but I'm just playing way too carefully around this Garchomp. Like, I let him EQ me, and I don't even 2-hit KO him with EQ, so I let him Dragon Claw. Like, I was thinking of going to Lottie there again, but I'm just playing way too safely. It was too risky to go into Lottie because Dragon Claw, like I said in the team builder, covers every mon on my team. Like, he's not going to go for Stone Edge predicting Togekiss, so there's no point in going for EQ there when Dragon Claw into EQ kills. So, look at how low this Seismitoad is. It's not even an Aegislash check anymore, which sucks because I'm in range of +2 sneak. So I just go for my EQ and then die to this Garchomp, which sucks because I needed this thing. Like, I can't stress enough how much this play mattered. I should have just stayed in with Togekiss and just gone for Air Slashes. This Garchomp only has 8 Stone Edges, and I already missed one of them, and it would have, like, I would have outstalled this Garchomp and been at full HP. Unless he crit a Stone Edge, in which case I think I still would have been able to stall him out if I had gone for Roost on the crit turn. So, Togekiss easily beat this Garchomp. I don't know what I was doing. He hadn't revealed dual stabs yet, but I guess I was fearing SD. But going Seismitoad on SD is a choke too, because, like, if I'm predicting SD, I go hard Lottie. It was just a really bad play, because now Aegislash is a much more huge threat. Like, Sceptile only checks Aegislash if he brings it in while Sceptile is already in, and then Togekiss only like soft checks it because it has to like T-Wave and then Air Slash flinch and Encore into King's Shield. Like, it doesn't have a move to kill it, and then Thunderous doesn't kill it with kill it in Shield form, stuff like that. So my only Aegislash check is down, and that is huge. I bring in Latias to revenge this. I just go for Psychic. I don't want to reveal that I'm Specs yet. So he brings in Aegislash, and I mean, I'm not going to stay in here to Psychic. It does like 20 or something, and there's no point. I just end up going Muck because it forces him to kill me rather than getting more than one SD. So he goes for SD. He King's Shields my knockoff because, like, I didn't want to get any second SD, so I was forced to go for knockoff there. And then he just kills me with Iron Head. Just fine. Like, I could have gone for Sneak there. It would have done like 15, and then he heals it back up. Not a big deal. Like, I just want for knockoff there again, just in case he wanted to SD again, because just to knock off his leftovers. I bring in Togekiss. At this point, I have to hope that he goes for King's Shield, fearing a Fire Blast, and then because my only hope is him going for King's Shield, fearing a Fire Blast, and then me encoring him into King's Shield, I have to go for T-Wave here. I go for T-Wave, he doesn't go for King's Shield, and I die to Iron Head. So pairing this Aegislash is fine because if he gets full parried on the Shadow Sneak on any of these mons, then I can like maybe beat him. But him not going for King's Shield there means that I'm at a severe disadvantage this game. Imagine if Seismitoad had been alive here. That would have been great, but I sacked it off for no reason. And that, while it was a small play and a safe play to make in most circumstances, the fact that he didn't AEGISLASH really punished me for that. I mean, it's one of the reasons I think it's a broken mon in League, but I can get into that in a different video. But I can complain all I want about AEGISLASH being broken, but it won't change the fact that Gypsy had it, and it's good against me. So I go into Thunderous. I'm pretty sure I died a sneak here. Like I didn't calc it because it wouldn't matter. For my play is to go for Z Thunderbolt no matter what, because it's the only move I have that kills him in blade form. So I didn't even calc his Shadow Sneak, to be frank, because it did, like, it wouldn't affect my play at all. And I don't know, I just wanted to keep it a surprise. So I just go into Thunderous, I click Z Thunderbolt, and he gets full parried. So that's fortunate for me. Unfortunate for him. Like, I've been getting pretty lucky this game with a Stone Edge miss on Togekiss that prevented him from getting information, and then knockoff Poison Touch isn't really that much hacks, it's 30%, but still kind of sucks for him. And that full para, like, lowered his differential by a lot, because he would have won 5-0 with that AEGISLASH. He brings in Nihilego. I know it's a Scarf Nihilego. I have to switch out. I sack off Sceptile because it's my only play. Then I go Latias. I don't die to Power Gem, so I get a kill with Psychic here. He sacks off Quag. I mean, the rest of this game is pretty self-explanatory. It's just me trying to preserve Lottie, get as many spec Psychic kills as possible. I go into Thunderous because a Thunderbolt puts this Clefable in range of 2 Psychics from Lottie, and Lottie lives in Moonblast. So if I'm able to Thunderbolt into 2 Psychics somehow, I can bring it down to a 1-0 if he sacks off Medicham, or 2-0 if he doesn't, if he sacks off Clefable first instead. So going to Latias, I go for Psychic here. He sacks off Medicham, so I get more differential off that. It was to cover like a Trick Latias, I guess, but I'm not going for Trick at this point, I'm just going for differential. He knocks off my specs, that's fine. I'm just fine getting differential here. Accepting my L. I mean, definitely my fault. I played the Seismitoad badly, and I deserve to lose because of it. So, good game to Gypsy. Really hard to prep for his team, honestly. And his team, the AEGISLASH punishes you so much for making just one misplay, one turn of the game. And that's how it is. So, next week we play against Blake, Moxie Infernape. We are 1-1, I think. I think I won against Trev 3-0, so I think I'm 1-1 plus 2. So I'm glad this was just a 1-0 loss. Like, it could have been a 5-0 loss. I'm glad that it was just a 1-0. So I'm not -2 in differential and +2. So even though we did take the L against Gypsy, there's a little bit of silver lining there. And yeah, he played really well, read me on a lot of turns, but in the end I fell to my own misplay, which sucks because I like to think I don't make a lot of misplays in Draft League, and doing that and not realizing it for a while either, because I tried to justify after the game with how I needed Togekiss was more important than Seismitoad that game, which I still agree with, but he would have gone for Z-Edge on that turn if he had it, and arguably the play of going Seismitoad lost me the game even if he had Z-Edge, because he goes for Stone Edge and then he just 2 KOs me with Earthquake. I guess it's a 3 KO, and it's worth his Garchomp getting whittled in order to eliminate my Seismitoad. So my bad for not realizing that in game, and that's why I took the loss. So GG to Gypsy, and I will see you guys next week.